Disclaimer. Listeners, please be aware that this article is for information purpose and may not in a whole holds the final facts or figures concerning this article upon this subject matter. Everyone is strongly advised to carry out their own research into the subject before making a final decision about this article. We are not responsible for any loss or damage you may suffer as a result of this article. In this article we are going to delve into the study of waterfalls and their unique features and tranquil appearances. Waterfalls are natural features where a river or stream flows over a vertical drop or a series of steep rocks, resulting in a dramatic descent of water. They are formed when the underlying rock is resistant to erosion and the flowing water gradually wears away the softer rock layers, creating a sudden change in elevation. Waterfalls vary in size, shape, and flow rate, ranging from small cascades to massive and powerful falls. Waterfalls often exhibit distinctive characteristics, including plunge, a vertical descent where water drops straight down; horsetail, when the water maintains contact with the rock surface as it cascades downward; cascade, a series of small, stepped falls; tiered, multiple distinct drops with separate plunge pools; fan-shaped, water spreads out as it descends, creating a wide, fan-like appearance; ribbon, a narrow and elongated waterfall where water descends in a thin stream; punch bowl, water descends into a pool or basin, forming a circular or bowl-like shape. Several factors contribute to the height and size of a waterfall. Geological structure. The underlying geological structure plays a significant role. Waterfalls are often formed where a river encounters a resistant layer of rock, such as hard bedrock or a layer of more durable rock. Softer rock layers erode more easily, creating a sudden drop or steep gradient. River or stream flow. The volume and velocity of the river or stream flowing over the waterfall affect its size. A greater volume of water and higher flow rate can contribute to a larger and more powerful waterfall. Elevation change. The difference in elevation between the upstream and downstream areas influences the height of a waterfall. A significant change in elevation results in a taller waterfall. Drainage area. The size of the drainage area or watershed that contributes water to the river affects the flow volume. Larger drainage areas can supply more water, leading to potentially larger waterfalls. Climate and precipitation. The amount of rainfall or snowfall in the region impacts the water supply to rivers and streams. Regions with higher precipitation levels are more likely to have larger waterfalls. Tectonic activity. Tectonic processes, such as the movement of tectonic plates or faulting, can create uplifted areas or faults that contribute to the formation of waterfalls. Geological forces associated with plate tectonics can shape the landscape and influence the size and height of waterfalls. Time and erosion. Waterfalls can change over time due to ongoing erosion. Erosion can gradually cause the waterfall to retreat upstream, altering its size and shape. It's important to note that these factors can interact and vary in different locations, resulting in a wide range of waterfall sizes and heights found around the world. There are several famous waterfalls around the world known for their beauty, grandeur, and cultural significance. Here are some notable examples. Niagara Falls, Canada, United States. Located on the border between Canada and the United States, Niagara Falls consists of 3 waterfalls: Horseshoe Falls, American Falls, and Bridal Veil Falls. It is one of the most iconic and visited waterfalls, renowned for its massive flow rate and breathtaking views. Angel Falls, Venezuela. Angel Falls is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall, cascading down a staggering height of 979 meters, 3,212 feet. It is located in the Canaima National Park in Venezuela's Gran Sabana region, surrounded by lush tropical forests. Victoria Falls, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Victoria Falls, situated on the Zambezi River between Zambia and Zimbabwe, is one of the largest waterfalls globally, both in terms of width and height. With its impressive curtain of falling water spanning approximately 1.7 kilometers (1.1 miles), It is often referred to as the smoke that thunders. Iguazu Falls, Argentina, Brazil. Iguazu Falls is a breathtaking series of waterfalls located on the border between Argentina and Brazil. The falls form part of the Iguazu River and are surrounded by the lush Iguazu National Park. It is known for its numerous cascades and the awe-inspiring Devil's Throat, a U-shaped waterfall. Yosemite Falls, United States, located in Yosemite National Park in California. Yosemite Falls is one of the tallest waterfalls in North America. It consists of 3 sections: Upper Yosemite Fall, Middle Cascades, and Lower Yosemite Fall. The combined height of the falls is around 739 meters, 2,425 feet. Kaitor Falls, Guyana. Kaitor Falls is a magnificent waterfall located in the Kaitor National Park in Guyana. It is known for its powerful single drop, with water plunging down a height of 226 meters, 741 feet, into the Pitaro River below. Gullfoss, Iceland. Gullfoss, meaning Golden Falls, is an iconic waterfall in southwestern Iceland. It features a 2-tiered cascade where the Vita River plunges into a rugged canyon, creating a spectacular sight. These are just a few examples of the world's famous waterfalls, each offering its unique characteristics, natural beauty, and cultural significance. Waterfalls have significant impacts on the surrounding ecosystem, influencing various ecological processes and providing diverse habitats for plants and animals. Here are some ways waterfalls affect the ecosystem. Habitat diversity. Waterfalls create a unique microhabitat with distinct environmental conditions. The area around a waterfall often experiences increased moisture, providing suitable conditions for moisture-loving plants and organisms. The varying flow rates and turbulence of the water support a diverse range of aquatic species. Biodiversity hotspots. Waterfalls serve as focal points of biodiversity, attracting a variety of plant and animal species. The diverse microhabitats created by the waterfall's spray, plunge pools, and wet rocks offer niches for a range of organisms, including mosses, ferns, algae, insects, and fish. Hydrological connectivity. Waterfalls act as natural barriers or stepping stones within river systems, creating distinct sections and dividing populations of organisms. This spatial fragmentation can contribute to genetic differentiation and the formation of unique species assemblages. Nutrient cycling. The turbulence and aeration caused by waterfalls promote nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems. The agitation of the water enhances the oxygenation of the water column, benefiting aquatic organisms and facilitating nutrient availability for primary producers. Sediment dynamics. Waterfalls play a role in sediment transport within river systems. The force of the falling water can erode rocks and sediment from upstream areas, redistributing them downstream. This sediment movement influences the formation and shaping of riverbeds and the distribution of sediments in the surrounding landscape. Tourism and recreation. Waterfalls often attract tourists, leading to economic benefits for local communities. However, unregulated tourism can also have negative impacts on the ecosystem, such as habitat disturbance and pollution. Responsible management and sustainable tourism practices are essential for maintaining the ecological integrity of waterfall ecosystems. It is important to note that the specific impacts of waterfalls on the surrounding ecosystem can vary depending on factors such as the size of the waterfall, the characteristics of the river system, and the regional climate. Understanding these ecological interactions helps in appreciating the ecological significance of waterfalls and supports conservation efforts to preserve their unique ecosystems. Waterfalls can change over time due to various natural processes and human activities. Here are some ways in which waterfalls can undergo changes. Erosion and retreat. Waterfalls are subject to erosion, particularly in the form of hydraulic action, the force of water, and abrasion, rock particles carried by the water. Over time, this erosion can cause the waterfall to retreat upstream. The constant flow of water gradually wears away the rock, leading to the waterfall moving backward and altering its location. Changes in flow rate. Waterfalls are dependent on the volume of water flowing over them. Changes in precipitation patterns, seasonal variations, and human activities such as dam construction or water diversion can affect the flow rate of rivers and streams, thereby impacting the size and intensity of waterfalls. Reduced water flow may result in smaller or less impressive waterfalls, while increased flow can create more powerful cascades. Geological shifts. Tectonic activity and geological processes can alter the underlying rock structure or change the course of rivers. Earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic activity can create new geological features or modify the topography, which may affect the formation and appearance of waterfalls. Human interference. Human activities can have both positive and negative effects on waterfalls. Alterations to the natural landscape through construction, mining, or deforestation can disrupt the water flow, sedimentation patterns, and overall ecosystem dynamics, potentially leading to changes in waterfalls. Conversely, restoration efforts or the creation of artificial waterfalls can also modify the landscape and introduce new features. Climate change. Climate change can impact precipitation patterns, altering the amount and timing of rainfall in a region. These changes can affect the water supply to rivers and, subsequently, the flow of waterfalls. Shifts in temperature and weather patterns may also impact the freezing and thawing of waterfalls in colder regions. It's important to note that these changes occur over extended periods and may not be readily noticeable in the short term. Waterfalls are dynamic features shaped by natural processes, and their transformation over time is part of the ongoing evolution of landscapes. There are several different types of waterfalls, each characterized by distinct features and formations. Here are some common types. Block waterfalls. Block waterfalls have a broad, rectangular profile as the water descends uniformly over a wide ledge. They often exhibit a steady and powerful flow, creating a consistent curtain-like appearance. Niagara Falls is an example of a block waterfall. Cascade waterfalls. Cascade waterfalls consist of a series of small steps or terraces over which the water flows. The descending water creates multiple tiers or stages, often producing an aesthetically pleasing and visually dynamic effect. Multnomah Falls in Oregon, USA, is a well-known cascade waterfall. Tiered waterfalls. Tiered waterfalls have distinct, separated drops as the water descends. Each drop forms a separate plunge pool before flowing over the next ledge. These waterfalls can range from a few tiers to several, and the size of each drop can vary. Quang Si Falls in Laos is an example of a tiered waterfall. Punch Bowl waterfalls. Punch Bowl waterfalls feature a pool or basin at the base, into which the water plunges. The water collects in a circular or bowl-shaped depression before continuing downstream. This creates a distinctive shape and often provides opportunities for swimming or recreational activities. Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, USA, has examples of punch bowl waterfalls. Plunge waterfalls. Plunge waterfalls are characterized by a vertical descent as the water drops in a straight line without making contact with the rocks until it reaches the plunge pool below. The resulting free-falling water creates an impressive display of power and creates a deep pool at the base. Angel Falls in Venezuela is an iconic example of a plunge waterfall. Horsedale waterfalls. Horsedale waterfalls maintain contact with the rock face as the water cascades downward, resembling the flow of a horsedale. The water flows down the rock surface, maintaining a continuous shape and often resulting in a wispy appearance. The Yosemite Falls in California, USA, features a horsedale shape in its upper section. Fan waterfalls. Fan waterfalls are characterized by a wide, spreading flow of water as it descends, resembling a fan-shaped appearance. The water spreads out horizontally or at an angle, creating a broader display. The Dishan waterfall on the border of China and Vietnam is an example of a fan waterfall. These are just a few examples of the various types of waterfalls found in nature. Each type offers a unique and captivating visual experience, showcasing the beauty and diversity of these natural wonders. Waterfalls play a vital role in the water cycle, which is the continuous movement of water between the Earth's surface, atmosphere, and back again. Here's how waterfalls contribute to this cycle. Evaporation. As water flows over a waterfall and descends into the air, it undergoes evaporation. The kinetic energy and turbulence of the falling water cause some of it to vaporize and enter the atmosphere as water vapor. Transpiration. Waterfalls are often surrounded by lush vegetation, including trees, shrubs, and mosses. These plants absorb water from the surrounding soil through their roots and release it into the atmosphere through a process called transpiration. The mist and moisture generated by waterfalls provide ample humidity, supporting transpiration and the release of water vapor into the air. Condensation. The rising water vapor from waterfalls contributes to the overall humidity in the surrounding environment. When the warm, moisture-laden air comes into contact with cooler air or encounters certain atmospheric conditions, condensation occurs. Water vapor condenses into tiny water droplets, forming clouds or fog in the vicinity of the waterfall. Precipitation. Clouds that form from the condensation process can eventually lead to precipitation. When the water droplets in the clouds become too heavy, they fall back to the Earth's surface as rain, mist, or snow. Waterfalls, by contributing to the overall humidity and moisture content in the atmosphere, can influence local precipitation patterns. Runoff. Waterfalls receive water from rivers or streams, and as the water cascades over the falls, it generates runoff. The water that flows downstream from the waterfall rejoins the river or stream, contributing to the overall flow and movement of water within the drainage basin. By participating in these different stages of the water cycle, waterfalls help maintain the balance of water distribution on Earth. They facilitate the transfer of water from the Earth's surface to the atmosphere and back again, ensuring a continuous cycle of water movement and availability for various ecosystems and human populations downstream. Waterfalls have a significant influence on tourism and local economies in several ways. Tourist attractions. Waterfalls often possess natural beauty, mesmerizing cascades, and scenic surroundings, making them popular tourist attractions. People are drawn to witness the grandeur and power of waterfalls, enjoying the awe-inspiring views and engaging in outdoor activities such as hiking, photography, and wildlife observation. The presence of waterfalls can enhance the appeal of a region and attract both domestic and international tourists. Economic benefits. The influx of tourists to areas with notable waterfalls brings economic benefits to local communities. Visitors spend money on accommodations, food and beverages, transportation, souvenirs, and recreational activities, contributing to the local economy and supporting businesses. Waterfall tourism can generate revenue, create jobs, and stimulate economic growth in the surrounding areas. Infrastructure development. The development of tourism around waterfalls often requires the establishment of necessary infrastructure, including visitor centers, trails, viewpoints, parking facilities, and accommodation options. This infrastructure development can lead to investments in the local area, improving accessibility and amenities for both tourists and residents. Conservation and preservation. Waterfall tourism can also raise awareness about the need for conservation and preservation of natural resources. Increased tourism often leads to heightened efforts to protect the environment and maintain the ecological integrity of the waterfall and its surrounding ecosystem. Conservation initiatives can benefit the local environment, ensuring the sustainability of the attraction for future generations. Cultural and community engagement. Waterfalls often have cultural and historical significance to local communities. They may be part of indigenous folklore, traditional rituals, or hold spiritual importance. Tourism centered around waterfalls can provide opportunities for local communities to share their cultural heritage, promote traditional arts and crafts, and engage with visitors, fostering cultural exchange and community development. Educational and research opportunities. Waterfalls also offer educational and research opportunities. Scientists, geologists, biologists, and environmentalists study waterfalls and their ecosystems, contributing to our understanding of natural processes, biodiversity, and geological formations. Educational programs and interpretive signage at waterfall sites can educate visitors about the natural world, conservation, and sustainable practices. However, it is essential to balance tourism development with the preservation of the natural environment and the well-being of local communities. Sustainable tourism practices, responsible visitor behavior, and effective management strategies are crucial to ensure the long-term viability of waterfall tourism and its positive impacts on local economies. When visiting or exploring waterfalls, it is important to prioritize safety to prevent accidents and ensure an enjoyable experience. Here are some safety considerations to keep in mind. Follow designated paths and trails. Stick to designated paths, trails, and viewing areas provided for visitors. These areas are typically designed to ensure safe access and minimize the risk of accidents. Avoid venturing off trail or ignoring warning signs. Be aware of slippery surfaces. Waterfall areas are often wet and slippery due to the mist, spray, and damp rocks. Take caution while walking, especially on wet surfaces, and wear appropriate footwear with good traction. Stay away from hazardous areas. Keep a safe distance from the edge of cliffs, steep drops, or unstable ledges. Avoid standing on slippery or loose rocks near the water's edge, as sudden changes in water flow or unstable terrain can be dangerous. Observe safety barriers and fencing. Pay attention to safety barriers, fencing, or guardrails installed at viewpoints and dangerous areas. These structures are there to protect visitors and should be respected. Be cautious of changing water conditions. Water levels in rivers and streams can vary significantly, especially during periods of heavy rainfall or spring melt. Do not enter the water if you are uncertain about its depth, current strength, or if there are warnings against swimming or wading. Respect wildlife and vegetation. Admire and appreciate the natural surroundings without disturbing wildlife or damaging vegetation. Keep a safe distance from any wildlife you may encounter and avoid feeding or approaching them. Be mindful of weather conditions. Weather conditions can change rapidly, impacting safety. Check weather forecasts before your visit and be prepared for sudden changes in temperature, rain, or storms. Slippery conditions and poor visibility can increase risks near waterfalls. Be prepared and carry safety essentials. Carry essential safety items, such as a first aid kit, insect repellent, sunscreen, and sufficient drinking water. Depending on the location and activities planned, consider additional gear like sturdy hiking shoes, rain gear, and a whistle for emergencies. Inform others and communicate. Let someone know about your plans, including the location and estimated duration of your visit. If exploring remote areas, consider bringing a companion or joining guided tours for added safety. Follow local regulations and guidelines. Familiarize yourself with any specific rules, regulations, or guidelines set by the park or area management. These guidelines are in place to ensure visitor safety and environmental protection. Remember, safety should always be a priority when visiting waterfalls or any natural attractions. By being aware, cautious, and respectful of the surroundings, you can enjoy a memorable and safe experience. In conclusion, visiting or exploring waterfalls can be a thrilling and awe-inspiring experience, but it is essential to prioritize safety at all times. By following designated paths, staying aware of slippery surfaces, and respecting safety barriers, visitors can mitigate the risks associated with waterfall environments. Being cautious of changing water conditions, observing wildlife from a safe distance, and being mindful of weather conditions further contribute to a safe visit. Carrying essential safety items, informing others of your plans, and adhering to local regulations are additional measures that enhance safety. By embracing these safety considerations, individuals can fully enjoy the beauty of waterfalls while ensuring their own well-being and respecting the natural environment. Remember, safety is key to a rewarding and unforgettable waterfall experience. Thanks for watching.